want to raise money from individuals because I just felt like, and this is probably my psychological profile, I don't know about all of you, but taking money from other people, I just wouldn't be able to sleep well at night. At first, I wasn't sure it was going to work in some way. I just know that would bother me. So I funded the business on my own for the first two and a half years. And then in the last 3 or 4 months, when we're sure it is working, we can tell you more about what we're doing to work, but we went out and we've raised about $9 million for the company. And all of it is mostly from not venture capital firms, but it's from the CEOs of the Fortune 100 or former CEOs of the Fortune 100. And so, but I didn't want to ask anybody for money until I was sure it was going to work because it would just ruin my life, basically. I don't know if you, I'm sure you all feel the same way, but taking money from other people and it didn't work out. But I will say something, you mentioned this about venture versus investment banking, and I think that the venture capitalists, and I'm sure most of you had to approach them, is that right? I just think they have it kind of backward. We kind of wait for you to show up and say, I have an idea, do you want to fund it? And back in my Goldman Sachs days, we used to, like the markets, I've been a big believer in markets, obviously, but markets tell you the value of things. And if there's a big demand for something, we'd create the product, whether it was the security or the company. So if something is trading at 40 times earnings, we'd say, hey, the market wants lots of that. We didn't have a point of view about whether that was a good business or not. It's like someone saying, I want to buy blue coats, and they're paying a big price for blue coats. What do? Make blue coats. So the same thing I think applies to this industry. I don't know why venture capital firms don't say, here's a business that we should develop and get the people and fund the idea the way that we did with Rex. And that's how Goldman Sachs did it. But I think with respect to venture capital firms, they kind of wait for you guys to show up and say, hey, I have an idea. Do you want to fund it? And they say, well, you're not quite right because I don't believe in this part of your strategy or that part of the strategy. But we'd say, well, you're mostly right. Let's work on it together and, and get this business going. So I'm not sure that's helpful to you, but it's very different. The investment bank, it's all about markets and flows today. And the venture capital firms are about what does the future look like. But I think the markets and flows are better indicators of the future than people looking into a crystal ball and predicting.